It's a wonderful program. You got great professors, great teachers. Feel the passion, because I'll tell you something. There's many people in our industry from Iona, and Iona, it's all about the people. And Masscom is moving along.
All right, and we are back on air. How'd you guys feel about the countdown? I actually gave you guys a countdown because now I can see when we stop. I said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 before going on air.
I appreciate it.
I think Brian appreciates it because every single time I go back on air, I literally just don't even tell him. I'm just like, all right, we are back on. So, guys, we are back on. And right now, it's time for Brian's news. But, Brian, guess what? You don't really have to hum that much because I could actually find the news bed a little faster.
There's actually going to be a news bed.
Yes, there's going to be a news bed today. Are you ready for it?
It's an actual news bed or not like some ESPN type?
No, it's an actual. I mean, unless you want the ES NFL one. I love the NFL theme when you tell the news. It is so funny to me. Like, do you know the NFL?
Yes.
It is so funny when Brian tells the news. All right, either way, regular news bed. You ready? 3,
sure.
2, 1.
So yesterday, YouTube took down a video of a cat purring, saying it was copyright infringement.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Copyright infringement.
There's been a lot of companies just taking down any videos for any reason and just saying it was copyright infringement, and now they've gone too far taking down cats.
I like how that draws the line for Brian. No more. Leave the cat on the internet.
In Quebec, there's 10 cases of measles, which is kind of like Ebola too.
Why is the measles coming back?
It was an outbreak in Disneyland, and people aren't vaccinated. So now,
well, because I didn't think anyone. Well, I mean, not that I didn't think. I'm pretty sure most people didn't think measles was still floating around.
Aren't you legally required to get measles in order to go to school?
Like a measles shot? I think so. There's a lot. If not, a lot of schools are making that if you don't have shots, you can't come.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Ebola outbreak we were all dreading. Only it's measles.
Where's the kaboom? It's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
That is actually great timing.
I just wanted to see because Demir just keeps pressing me for
using sound
effects. I just wanted to know what Marvin the Martian had to say really quick. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
So in Australia, the oldest man, who's 109, is spending his days knitting sweaters for penguins.
Isn't that adorable?
Interesting.
I spent way too much time than I should have.
How old is this man?
109.
109. See, I think it's so funny because I love old people. Like, I love old people. Like, the older you are, the more I love you because they're so adorable. Like, they're like children that just are wrinkly and Benjamin Button-y.
He gave his advice on how to live that long.
All right, what was his advice?
Wake up every morning.
Wow. You know what? That's actually really valid advice. But see, I think it's so funny that Brian brings this up because I was on BuzzFeed. I have like a weird obsession with BuzzFeed recently. So one of the articles was how to live your best life according to 5 of the oldest women in the world. So it's like common knowledge that women actually tend to live longer than men because we're awesome, obviously. So that sounded so mean.
Yeah.
But there's 5 women and they're all across the globe. So the first one is Susanna Mushat Jones. She's 115 years old and she lives in New York and she eats bacon every single day. I think that's a great way to live, to eat bacon every single day.
Yeah.
She says, quote, I have no secret. And she just eats a lot of things that she loves, and one of them just happens to be bacon, and she eats it every day with eggs and grits. I love grits. Love them. After that, it's Geraldine Talley, who's also 15, and she tries to treat others how she'd like to be treated. Very valid, I think.
Yeah.
She says, quote, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's my way of living. Emma Marana Martinuzzi is 115 and lives in Italy, and one of her secrets to live a long life is eating a raw egg every day like Rocky.
Ew.
Isn't that gross? She was born in 1899.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's crazy. After that, this lady is really old in this picture. The next one is an Arkansas resident, Gertrude Weaver. With a name like Gertrude, you know she's like about a century old.
That is mean.
She is 116 and she loves to wheelchair dance, and I think that is the cutest thing in the universe. Can you imagine someone wheeling her around and she's dancing? And she has like a flower. She's like a happy hippie. After that is Misao Okawa. Pretty sure I butchered this poor woman's name. She's 116. She lives in Japan, and she thinks eating is the key to happiness.
She is right.
And then after that, it says, who runs the world? Wise old biddies. And I'm like, hey. It is like old ladies dancing. Because we get things done. All right, Brian, you could go ahead with your actual news.
All right.
I'm sorry. The actual last Asian, she's 117. The Japanese woman, she's 117 years old.
Yeah.
Asian people live to be 150.
That is not true. They are not a turtle.
They do have a lot of like the oldest people in the world in Japan.
You know why? Well, I was gonna say maybe easy living, but I doubt they live easy over there. I don't think that would be a good.
No.
A good.
So
Isn't she so rude?
Lame.
Yeah.
It said slow, so I just thought it was gonna be like a. I don't know.
Well, you thought wrong. Continue, Brian.
Jeez.
I apologize for her.
Thank you.
Sorry.
So in Alaska, the famed Iditarod dog sled race had to be changed like the normal route because of a lack of snow, which is something I never thought I'd hear coming from Alaska.
That's so funny. Maybe they should go to Boston. I was hoping someone would get the joke. Thank you, Brian.
I get it.
I've always wanted to see dog sledding.
I saw like that one cartoon when I was a kid about the dog.
Do you remember that one with
sleds.
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yes.
Yeah.
Demon.
That's what I thought. That's so exactly what I just thought of. Go ahead, Brian.
So, recent study found that sex toy injuries have skyrocketed since 50 Shades of Grey was published.
Isn't that hilarious?
Just in
That
time
is
for the movie.
so funny. Can you imagine? It's like, hey, babe, we're going to try something different today. We're going to Christian Grey it style. And then they just go off. Like, that's exactly what I'm picturing. Because I saw it on E! Online also, and I'm like, no way. So it said, since 2007, twice as many Americans have visited emergency room for injuries involving sex toys. And most of the visits coincided with the 2012-2013 releases of 50 Shades of Grey novels. So that means that this was happening even during when people were reading it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's just... It took a book to have you like sexually explore in the bedroom. Am I allowed to say this on air? Is that's a valid?
That sounds
I could say that on air.
right.
But I just, oh god, can you imagine just going into the emergency room and there's people with actual injuries, like real injuries, like someone's foot is like broken in so many like different parts, and you come in and I don't know what you could possibly have.
You don't say anything to the person at the front desk. You just hand them a copy of the book. And they understand.
When they say what happened and they just put read 50 Shades of Grey, you'll understand.
Just like a little post-it note,
crazy.
page 47. That if that helps the doctor.
And you know what's nuts? So many people are going like insane over this movie. Like, was it you that told me that they're gonna cover the seats in plastic?
That's what I heard.
Like, that's disgusting. What was another sexual movie that came? I don't know. This may be the most like mainstream sexual movie that's been released recently. I can't think of a movie right now that would be more sexual than this one. That's like rated R, not like NC-17 or something ridiculous. But can you imagine all the young teenagers in the room that when they go?
I actually heard in France
be
they
like, "Hey,
just
Mom."
approved that 12-year-olds can see this movie.
Well, I think
So.
the French
It's
have a
banned
healthy
in
sexual
Malaysia.
appetite.
for sadistic reasons.
Well,
Turn
I
it.
saw a clip last night of 50 Shades, and when I saw it, I literally went, oh, because it was shocking to me. I was just like, I went like, oh, when I saw the last installment of Twilight too, because that was exciting to me to see Edward and Bella be like that, but like to see these people like just, ooh, I'm excited because I haven't read the books either. And on top of that, I picture high schoolers to be like, hey, my mom doesn't get home till 5. Like, this is a 3 to 5 window if you want to come over. I don't know if you
Want to come over and read a book?
Read a book. Go to the emergency room. So in other news, so I know this whole Kanye thing isn't getting that much buzz, but I still love what pops up for it. Because, like, the Grammys happened Sunday, so it might as well have been, like, 2 weeks ago that it happened, because everything moves so fast. But according to Kanye West, this crazy individual, he said that the voices in his head told him to go. He said that, that he wasn't trying to take away Beck's comment, and he actually literally blames the voices in his head, and then said that it's not a black or white thing. Yet, in his interview, he literally said that they said they have to stop and realize. And I'm like, we all know what you mean by they. You mean like a white artist. It just happened to be that Beck is a white artist and Beyonce is a black artist. But a lot of people are still defending Beyonce. You know,
Well, she did nothing wrong.
not that she even did anything wrong. It's just like they're saying like Beyonce has more talent than Beck, and I'm like, she just has more like prevalence in media, I think, at the most part. I don't know. That was my thought there. And then on top of that, Taylor Swift and Kanye West are going into the studio together. So I guess
Stop.
Oh.
yes, this is real. This is a real thing. So we all know. I'm literally gonna read off BuzzFeed. So we all remember the Kanye West stunt at the 2009 MTV VMAs when he was just like, "Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you, but I'm gonna let you finish." But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time, right? I mean, when I first saw it, I didn't take it that big a deal. Sure, it was rude, but
I thought it
obviously,
was funny.
I thought
Yeah.
it was hilarious. Maybe that says like how like cold of a person I am. I have no idea. I thought it was really funny, and I
was.
thought it was a joke. And for Taylor Swift to take it so rough, I mean, like you won a VMA.
Well, that was her first one.
Oh, she's fine. Just make a
I
song
mean-
out of it and get a Grammy.
She did. Did you not see the VMAs the next year?
What was the song?
I don't remember, but
It was
she,
for Kanye.
yeah, she brought up a clip or something of what happened. And then Kanye was right after her, and that's when he was like, what song was it? A toast to the whatever?
Runaway.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. Wow, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Either way, she proved that she completely forgives Kanye, and now she wants to go in the studio with him. So according to Kanye, who this is what he told to Ryan Seacrest. By the way, Ryan Seacrest is like one of my idols right now. This man is so talented. Quote, yeah, she wants to get in the studio, and we're definitely going to go in. Any artist with an amazing point of view, perspective, fan base, I'm down to get in the studio and work. But yeah, you cut her off in 2009. I don't get it. I don't get it. And he's
It's
just
like redemption.
it's what?
I heard like this whole conspiracy theory that they were working together that night. Like he's like, oh, I'll jump on stage, and I'll cut you off, and I'll make you look amazing. 'Cause
But
then,
see, I feel like this is a conspiracy. I thought it was just me that was thinking this. Because I'm like, okay, Kanye West is producing Rihanna's album, right? Rihanna's album's coming out pretty soon. Kanye West is going to be coming out with an album already soon. He doesn't have as much coverage anymore just because the whole Kim Kardashian wedding like phase died down. So we're not seeing him as much, right? Then on top of that, Beck, I mean, be real, no one really heard Morning Phase.
I did.
Like, you did?
Yeah, I listened
I
to the
heard
album.
one other friend of mine, he heard Morning Phase. I heard it's a really good album, but
Yeah.
compared to Beyonce's, it didn't sell that many copies. It sold about 1,200,000 copies in the world. I mean, Beyonce's sold like probably over 1 million copies.
But
So
that's
we all,
because Beyonce is more popular.
Yeah.
and that's fine. But that's why I'm saying like maybe it's like a publicity stunt, so Beck could get more exposure, and then Kanye West could get more exposure, and everyone's a little happier. Because I don't believe like some things that happen during the Grammys, I'm like, or any of these kind of shows, I'm like, it's kind of fishy.
Yeah.
Like, I know. It's Illuminati. Most of it. No, I'm kidding.
Well, Scientology. Beck's a Scientologist.
You said that last time. You said it
Yeah.
the exact same way last time, too.
Yeah.
Beck's a Scientologist. But I feel like it's a conspiracy. I think they're all in it together. I thought of High School Musical. But I think it's a publicity thing just so they could get their name out. And that's why they did it. Because Kanye West, the way he came up, I don't know. And then Beck like was praising him after that. Get out of here. Defend yourself. Seriously. Just say like, you know what? No. I earned this album. Forget Beyonce. She has 23 Grammys now. How many Grammys does Beck have? Does anyone know?
No.
No.
I do.
Because barely anyone knows Beck, which is a shame because I used to like Beck. With that being said, we're going to take a quick break because when we come back, I want to give Siobhan a quiz.
Yay.
Yay!
Always the victim.
This neighborhood war has sent men, food. From the NBC newsroom in New York, President Roosevelt said in a statement today that the Japanese have attacked the Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, from